Encouragement for moms raising strong-willed children. God chose you for this job. Boy, have I got some info for you. My husband and I prayed for at least one laid-back child, and we got 3 strong-willed children. I definitely am with you on this. I feel you, and I hope I can give you some practical tips and advice that may help you to get through some of the tough days when you just don't know what to do and you're at your wit's end. Just stick with me, and I hope to give you some guidance today. If you are raising a strong-willed child, I definitely can feel your pain. I definitely see you, and I see the exhaustion, the deep breaths, the frustration before another boundary gets tested, and those moments where you just wonder if you're handling anything right. I know what it is like to pray for patience at the start of the day and then pray for forgiveness at the end of the day when there's so many ways that you feel like you messed up. But I also know that raising a strong-willed child is a calling, and God handpicked you for this child. You were handpicked to be their mother, not because you have all the answers, but because He knew that you would love them fiercely, and that's what they need more than anything. So today, I'd want to pour some encouragement into your heart, because what feels like a battle some days is actually a blessing in disguise. And if you'll stay with me, I'll show you what I mean. So let's dive right in. The strength within a strong-willed child. Well, I know right now your child's will may feel like complete exhaustion. It is completely exhausting to deal with a strong-willed child. I know that firsthand. But what if I told you that the very traits that challenge you today are the same ones that will shape them into world changers tomorrow? It would be awesome, wouldn't it? To have that difference, that determination that they have. That's leadership in the making. They're persistent. That's courage, just wrapped in smaller hands. And that stubbornness, oh, that stubbornness. Wow, that stubbornness. One day, and I promise you this is true, one day it will be unwavering faith. I have seen it happen, and I can attest to that. So don't give up. All right, I have a verse to share with you today. I have my Bible, and it's Proverbs 22:6. And I'm sure you've heard it before, but it never hurts to hear this verse again, especially when you're dealing with our subject today. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Very short verse, but very meaningful, especially when you're dealing with strong-willed children. You're shaping a future leader. You are. You're shaping a warrior for God's kingdom. Remind yourself of that when you're having a rough day and you want to scream and you don't know what to do and you're not sure how to go about parenting this child who is stubborn and persistent and determined. Just remember that. Mark that verse in your Bible, highlight it. It's an important one to look back to. Gives you hope for the future. I want to give you 3 truths to hold on to when you're feeling weary, when you're having a rough day, you're having a really hard time with your child. 3 truths to help you. Number 1, you are not failing. God is working. And it's important to know that. You are not failing. God is working. It is so easy to feel like you are doing something wrong when every day feels like a power struggle. I am with you. I have felt this. It is frustrating. It is so frustrating. But let me remind you that this is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of growth. God is working in your child's heart. I promise you, He's working. And He is working in you too. And those hard days do not mean that you are a bad mom. They never mean that you're a bad mom. They mean that you're raising a child with a big God-given purpose. So sometimes you just have to take a deep breath and look toward the future and know that God is raising a future leader. He's helping you to raise your future leader. And that future leader has a big God-given purpose. Tell yourself that when you're being stubborn as a mule. All right, number 2. Your child's strong will is not a curse, it's a gift. I laugh because some days it feels like a curse. Strong-willed children often grow into very strong, courageous adults. Tell yourself that enough times, then it will maybe help you get through the day. Think about people in the Bible. If you look back at different people from the Bible, let's take Moses, for example. Moses was extremely stubborn. God wanted Moses to do something specific and lead his people. And Moses came up with every excuse in the book not to be able to do that. He did not want to. He was stubborn. He argued with God, but in the end, he led his people to freedom. He was stubborn along the way, but he did accomplish that goal. Peter was very impulsive. If you look back to some of the stories about Peter in the Bible, you'll see what I'm talking about. But he became what God called the rock on which the church was built. We can have moments in our lives where we're stubborn and impulsive and all the things, but we can still be used by God for a great purpose. Never underestimate that when you're dealing with your stubborn, strong-willed child. Moses and Peter are 2 great examples of how you can have that, but you can still be an awesome leader and an awesome way to bring others into God's kingdom, even when you're stubborn. Your job is to guide your child. One day, that stubbornness and that determination and that impulsiveness, that's going to be what fuels their calling. They're going to be called to do something by God. And your job is to guide it, not to extinguish it. Very important to remember, because we just want them to stop being so stubborn. But when they are being their strong-willed self, you got to tell yourself, this is a future leader. They have a God-given purpose, and I need to guide them, not to extinguish that fire that they have inside of them that makes them who they are. Number 3, God equips you for what he's called you to do. Wow, I'm so grateful for that, because there's no way I could do this by myself. Some days it may feel like you do not have the patience, the wisdom, the strength to handle this. But let me remind you, if God called you to do this, then he will equip you for it. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, and I will help you, and I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." So he's already promising us he's going to be there. He's going to guide us. He's going to help us to get through this together. You're not alone in this, moms. You're not alone. God is with you every step of the way. Some practical encouragement for you for these hard days. These are just some things that you can do on those hard days when you feel like you're running on empty. Number 1, pray first. I know you've heard me say that before, but pray first. Before you react, speaking from experience, before you react, pause and just pray and ask God for patience and wisdom and a calm heart. Ask him with a calm heart. Because there's so many times where we just want to fly off the handle when they do something and they're exhibiting that strong-willed determination and frustrating you to no end. Pray first and ask for that calm heart. Number 2, and this is one of my big ones, pick your battles. I have had to learn that the hard way. Pick your battles. Not every situation needs to turn into a standoff. Some things you're just going to have to let go. It's not that important in the grand scheme of things. So pick your battles, figure out what's important and what you need to stand firm on, and the things that maybe you can just, you know what, that's not, in the grand scheme of things, that's not a big deal. Yes, they're being stubborn. Yes, they're being strong-willed, but it's not worth getting into an argument over. So pick your battles. Guide their will without crushing their spirit. It's important with strong-willed children. Number 3, speak life over them. So important. Even when they're pushing every single boundary, remind them of their God-given strength and say things like, God made you a leader. I see so much passion in you. Or, I love how strong you are. Give them praise. Don't constantly put them down for this, because they are going to be a leader and God needs you to guide them toward that. Number 4, this is also very important. Take breaks. Sometimes you need to. Sometimes you just need to walk away. I have had to do that many times, where I just stand up, step outside, just breathe, just take a big deep breath. Give yourself permission to reset. You do not have to respond to everything immediately. Speaking from someone who has done that and had to apologize later. Take a break, step outside, take a breath, give yourself time to reset. Super important with a strong-willed child. And remember that this season will pass. And I had a mom in my Bible study group tell me the other day, I hate it when someone says, this season will pass. And she's right. You hear that and you just think, why are they telling me this now? This is not important now. I don't want to think about in the future, but sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to say, okay, if I can just get through this, is not for forever. Yes, they are strong-willed, but God is working in me to learn how to deal with them and get to see them be the leader that God has called them to be. I get to see them use all of these characteristics that you could take for negative, but God's going to use them for good. Guide them, and they're going to remember. They're going to remember that you guided them, that you encouraged them, and that you didn't crush their spirit. Moms, you're doing an amazing job. I know how hard it is. It is extremely hard, but you're doing an amazing job. It may not feel like it. There may be some days where you feel like you majorly messed up, that you didn't really accomplish anything, that you didn't do anything for good, but you are planting seeds that are going to grow in ways that you can't even see yet. Keep going, keep loving, and keep trusting that God is working in your child and in you. And if you needed this encouragement today, please let me know in the comments. What's one way that you've seen God's grace in your parenting journey? Let's lift each other up. That is the goal. That is my goal, is to lift you up and to encourage you in your motherhood journey. And hopefully use some things that I've learned from my mistakes, and maybe even sometimes from things that God helped me to get right, so that you can be the mom that you want to be and that that Christ has called you to be. If you're new here, I am so glad that you're here. Welcome. And if you don't mind, subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can continue getting videos and you'll be reminded when they come out, so you can hopefully learn something new, learn something that may help you along the way. If you're struggling, if you're frustrated, if you just need some encouragement, I want to be able to provide that for you. You are not alone in this journey. We are on this journey together, and I'm so thankful that you're here, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Just remember that God loves you, and He loves your strong-willed child. They will be a leader one day, and they will be a part of God's big, God-given purpose. And you will be part of that because you help to encourage them and not crush their spirit. Keep going. You're doing great.